Hello, my name is Brendon Atsma, and I am going to do a presentation on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are the 7th oldest team in the National Football League. They were founded on July 8 in 1933 by Arthur Rooney. Pittsburgh is tied with New England for winning the most Super Bowls in the league, which is at 6. There's also been 18 players, coaches, or administrators from Pittsburgh that have been inducted into the National Football League Hall of Fame. I'm going to talk about some famous players from Pittsburgh. One of the most famous players ever for the Pittsburgh Steelers is Mean Joe Green. He was a player that started it all in Pittsburgh because he was Chuck Noll's very first draft pick in 1969. He was drafted 4th overall that year in the draft. He was the NFL's Rookie of the Year on the Steelers team that finished 1-13, which shows that he never gave up on the field which means that he was on a bad team, and he earned a very high award, which is very respectable for being on that bad of a team. Next we have Jack Lambert. He was a 2nd-round draft pick in 1974. Through his entire career, Lambert displayed an intelligence and intensity that made his relatively small size a non-issue. He became the first all-team pro 6 times, which is pretty incredible for a player. And lastly, we have one of the greatest quarterbacks in the game that the game has ever seen, Terry Bradshaw. He was the quarterback that led the Pittsburgh Steelers to 4 Super Bowl wins in the 1970s. He holds the Steelers record for all-time passing yards at 27,989, and the record continues to stand to this day. He was elected into the Hall of Fame in 1989 and is an icon to the Pittsburgh franchise. Now we have some famous coaches from Pittsburgh. Chuck Noll was the great Steelers head coach at Pittsburgh. He turned a losing team into a team that would come to win 4 Super Bowls under his name. Noll was selected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1933, which was his first year of eligibility. He was notable for opportunities he gave African Americans. He started the first black quarterback in franchise history and hiring one of the first black assistant coaches in the league history. Next, we have Bill Cowher. He was also one of the greatest Pittsburgh Steelers head coaches. He was the replacement for Noll, which meant that he had a huge shoes to fill. He delivered the Steelers team to win 8 division titles and made 10 playoff appearances. Cowher led the Steelers to go to the Super Bowl twice, but he only ended up winning one of those times that he went. And lastly, we have Mike Tomlin. He has been the head coach of the Steelers since 2007, and he still is to this day. He was the youngest ever head coach to come in and win a Super Bowl. He won that Super Bowl at just the age of 36, which is a very young to have a winning record. He is the 10th African American coach in the NFL and is the first for the Steelers. During the 2017 season, Tomlin became the third coach in NFL history to finish with a 500 or better record in his first 10 seasons with the team. Here's some interesting facts about the Steelers. The Steelers are known for having a good defense and winning a lot of games. They are known for tying the Patriots with winning the most Super Bowls in league history. However, they were also really bad for a long period of time. The Steelers were founded in 1933, and it was 39 years later in the playoffs of the 1972 that the Immaculate Reception happened and won the game for the Steelers in the playoffs. That play is known as one of the best, if not the best, plays in NFL history. The Steelers are also one of the 6 teams in the NFL that don't have a cheerleading squad. They once actually had cheerleaders in 1961, and they were called the Steelerettes, but team president Art Rooney decided to cut them after 9 seasons because he felt that the fans should come to watch a game and not the girls that were on the sideline. Another interesting fact is that the 1979 Steelers were the first team to be entirely homegrown. Every player on the Steelers roster in 1979 was either drafted by the Steelers or was signed by an undrafted free agent. That means that not a single player on the Steelers roster that year had worn another NFL jersey leading up to that year. Pittsburgh is also very well known for the Steel Curtain, which was the defensive line for the Steelers in the 1970s. The members were Mean Joe Green, Henderson Greenwood, Ernie Holmes, and Dwight White. These 4 players were part of the Great Steel Curtain that only allowed opposing teams to score an average 3.1 points a game, which was one of the greatest defenses that the game has ever seen. The line was the backbone of the Steelers dynasty that won 4 Super Bowls in the 70s. Thank you for watching my presentation. Again, my name is Brendon Atsma, and you could come and ask me about any questions that you have later. Thank you.